What's up, guys? Miguel here from Torts Tech. Oh man, today I am excited. I'm super excited. I got my first boom mic for my setup, and we're gonna unbox it and get first impressions. But yeah, so as you can see, I've been using the Shure SM7DB. This is more of a little studio broadcast pod, live whatever podcast type of mic. It sounds awesome. I love the way it sounds. However, when I'm doing product reviews and stuff like that, it's kind of like I have to speak kind of closely to it to get good sound. And a lot of times when I'm doing product reviews, I have to keep the mic like right here close to my mouth, and it gets in the shot, and if I'm not speaking directly into the tip, it cuts in and out. So I've been wanting a shotgun mic for a while. It's just been expensive. So finally pull the trigger, and I got the MKH 416. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. All I know is that this is supposed to be the Ferrari of boom mics. It's been around for 100 years. It's used in live studio productions, yada yada yada. It's the best. There's a lot of competitors out of there, but this is the best. It's used in live TV type of scenario. I'm gonna preface, I know shit about audio. Absolutely jack shit. I have the Rodecaster Duo, where this goes into. I'm gonna plug this into that, and hopefully I could just go hands-free and it sounds just as good, if not better than this. I'm gonna use whatever defaults are on the Rodecaster, and that's really my plan. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about audio, and as long as it sounds good, and I'm hoping that I just get that experience out of the box, and that is what I'm looking for, because if it doesn't and I have to tinker too much, it's already gonna start to be like that. Anyway, so we're gonna switch to the top-down view. We're gonna do an unboxing with me. Let's see my first reactions on this, because this thing is supposed to be, I mean, this thing came in at $900. Not cheap. That's why it's taken me so long. But we're going to see. Hopefully it revolutionizes my little setup. Anyway, and again, I'm a small-time creator, so this is a big deal for me. We're upgrading my setup slowly, and I'm taking you along for the journey. I know shit about audio, and we're gonna take that dumbass path together. So let's switch. All right, let's switch to the top down view. Start recording on that. Okay, see, as you can tell, here's the stand right here. And again, if I'm not speaking directly into the mic, and if I'm moving around and looking at this screen, it cuts off the audio. And I truthfully don't want to kind of worry about that. I hope that this solves kind of like a problem, that I don't have to be like attached to this, like, Elvis Presley type of scenario. We'll see. All right, so I got this because my plan is to actually hook it up on the actual camera behind the teleprompter and have it come out, because I really don't have like a top-down setup. Hoping that works. We'll see. This is pretty generic stuff, right? It's just kind of a thing and a thing, and that's really it. It's a thing of a thing, not really anything crazy right here. All right. So let's see. Let's see what $1,000 mic looks like, huh? Jesus, that hurts just saying it. But anyway, yeah, let's toss it around. No, I don't even need a razor for it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Why is it a little dirty here? Okay, it doesn't smell like anything. I feel like I'm opening a flute or a violin or something. A Sennheiser, Sensa. All right. All right. No smell whatsoever. We are greeted with a lot of shit here. All right, the model. We have some sort of, I have no idea what this
piece of paper is. I know it has meaning towards it. I think I've seen it in other videos that it's supposed to like do some sort of calibration, something. I don't know. Okay, so that's just propaganda. I don't know if that comes with it. Maybe it does. We'll take a look. Oh, it does. It's right here. All right, so we got the windscreen, just foam. We got this thing, which was this thing. I don't know what this is. Camera adapter shotgun. What is this? Made in Germany. Ja. Ja, hier bin ich. Ich der Fuchs. Apparently you're supposed to wrap it around. I'm going to have to look it up. I have no idea what this is for. So you wrap it. So you put it on top of the camera, which we're not doing it that way. And we're wrapping it. I don't think it applies to me. I have no idea why I would use this. So we'll look up this, look up to see what this does. All right, well, here's the mic. Let's take a look here. Oh man, yeah, I have to do it. I have to do it. Avida Kedavra! Avida Kedavra! And you doom! Wingardium Leviosa, God. Oh, me being a fucking idiot. So it just feels like a metal stick, you know, like I don't know. It's got the XLR mic from in here. Okay. I mean, it looks. What is this? Oh, it comes with its own little. Okay. All right. Again, we're not going to use this because we're going to put it in here. We got to. Yeah, baby. Ooh. Oh, don't play hard to get here. All right, we're going to put it in here. Oh. Oh yeah. All right. That's what I'm talking about. It's freaking heavy. Like it's a little baton. What the hell? All right. And that's it. We're going to put it on top of the camera. I don't know if I'm going to use this. Maybe just to protect it. God, what the why is everything does a lube come in here anywhere? Jesus. Okay. Why is it so lopsided? Look at this. It's not even round. All right. That's what we're going to use. That's how it's going to look. Listen, I'm excited. I hope this sounds good. We're going to plug it in directly into the Rodecaster Duo. Pick whatever default mic it is, and I don't know. Take it from there. Okay. All right. That's all I got. We'll switch to the camera, the other camera. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I've set up the MH, what is it, the 416, this microphone. So I'm going to take a little video here because I kind of want to show you how it has it set up. So here's the video, here's the mic, and it's literally, I mean, hold on a second. I know the camera, but like I'm touching it. That's how close it is to me. You can see it right here. It's really, really close. So the first footage I got, I lost the footage. Anyway, I regress. So I've been using it for a little bit, and I kind of don't like it. I'm going to be honest with you. Here. Let me start. So as you guys know in the video, I'm not an audio guy. Like I have no idea what to do with audio. So if it's not really plug and play, messing with it is a little over my pay grade. So that's why this one works so good. I like the way this one sounds. I plugged it into the Rodecaster Duo. I'll show you the video footage right here. So I plugged it into the Rodecaster Duo. I set the default profile, and then I disabled a couple of knickknacks here on the back of this, and this is what it sounds like. I plugged this one in, and it is being processed by the Rodecaster Duo, so I'll switch it over to that audio. So this is with it processing. Now, I did watch a lot of YouTube videos. I stole some people's settings to tweak it. And it's still, it's still not what. Hold on a second, because I want to show you the settings that I picked. So give it a second. I know this is not going to be very clear, but okay. So here we go. So we are on number 2. So let's go into number 2. All right. So this is the Sennheiser, whatever you call it. So I've tried 31 at first. I thought it was too low, so I went to 44, and that ended up being too high. The process, the pre ones. This one's a preset. Not really a preset. I stole the settings from a guy on YouTube saying that these were the best settings from it. So let me go back because I'm not going to show you through all this. So like if I turn off processing right now, so this is the mic without any type of processing. And that's with processing. So let's switch for the presets. Let's go into Broadcast Studio for the mic. And I think that's what I have the Shure SM7DB plugged into. And this is what it sounds like with the Broadcast Studio. So let's switch it one more time and go to the Broadcast Studio. These are the Broadcast Studio settings, and this is what it sounds like with that. And again, I don't like it. So I'm going to actually go back to the podcast one and leave it at that. I do have it turned up all the way. So even if I go down to where it's supposed to be 10, this is what it sounds like with 10. I'm not sure why that's not so clear. And this is kind of the levels, what it sounds like. All right. So I'm going to tell you what I don't like about it. It sounds, I feel like I could hear the echo from the back of the room, if that makes any sense. So in front of me, I mean, this room's not really sound treated. I have a couple of panels in front of me. I could actually show you guys. Give me a second. So I have these like panels in front of me. I have 4 panels, and that's really it. There's nothing spectacular about what I have. And naturally, this room is echoey, right? So even with the processing on, and even with changing the settings and custom settings, and again, I don't know anything about audio, so I don't know which setting exactly does this echoing, if I can even remove it. But it feels like it's picking up the echo from behind me. I feel like the echo of this room is coming from behind me, and that's kind of what I don't. Now, I have the mic pointed, I think, directly. Like if I'm here, it's at my face. If I'm up here, it's at like my throat, chin. So maybe my girth will, absorb some of those shockwaves. I don't fucking know. I have no idea if that's even legitimate. But it still doesn't do anything. Like I still pick it up and it's still hearing. Like, as opposed to this, where it's just a nice, intimate sound. Like it's like you're in my mouth at this point. Like it's just like my mouth is in your ears and you're enjoying this. I hope, But anyway, now, do I think I could get to this level with this? Yes. I think that this is a capable mic. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I feel like I would have to like soundproof the room. I feel like I would have to do all this extra stuff to make this mic shine. I think it's past the point where I can't really do too much with the processing. That at this point, I have 2 options. I have one, disable the processing completely on the Rodecaster Duo and do all the processing of the audio in like DaVinci Resolve, which is then learning audio there. Or 2, leave the processing on and then treat the room to the point where it starts sounding kind of comparable to this, or, somewhat like this. So that's kind of where I'm at with that decision, which kind of leaves me with the second one that if this is going to be the mic that I like and I'm going to have to do all this extra work to get this, do I return it? Right? Do I return it and maybe get like a $300 shock mic, you know? Because if I do need to do the processing in DaVinci Resolve, and if I need to do that, then from the distance that I am from this and for the content that I'm creating, I don't think I need $1,000 mic. So that's where I'm at with this right now. I'm in that debate. And if you guys have any, you know, if you guys have any like opinions, like, you know, suggestions on what I should do, I'm all for it, because I've been scouring the internet on how to, you know, even pair this to the Rodecaster Duo correctly. And I don't think, you know, I think my best bet, to tell you the truth, I'll be honest with you, I think my best bet is to disable the processing from the Rodecaster Duo and let this be a complete, this whole time I was staring at the mic while talking and I didn't realize the camera was on. So sorry, I wasn't even staring at you guys. And this whole time. So my best bet is to disable it and then really tweak the processing in something like DaVinci Resolve and get the good quality out of that. But I don't want to add another layer to my, you know, to my processing. I feel like that's going to cause, I don't know. I don't know if I want to learn that, to tell you the truth. I don't do any audio processing now with this. I record it into the Rodecaster Duo. I pull the file, I sync the file with the video, and I don't have to do any editing of, you know, the actual audio. Now, whether that's a good thing or not, it sounds okay to me. It sounds good enough to me that I don't have to do it, but now it would be like introducing another step into my video editing problem. So that is where I'm at. I just wanted to, I lost the first audio after this is like a re-record because I lost the audio the other time around. So we're recording a new one. And I'll keep you updated. I'm going to use it for, I mean, it's only been a couple days. I've only made like 2 or 3 videos. So I'm going to make a couple more videos, try DaVinci Resolve, see what I could get out of it, and, you know, give you guys an update on it. But right now it's leaning towards return it and maybe get like, what was it? I think the 60, which is like a $300 like shock mic, like like a mic that goes on there. Maybe we'll just be better with that and save ourselves like $700 off of this mic. Anyway, again, if you guys have any comments, like, let me know in the comments below. I need help. That'd be greatly appreciated. So, all right, guys. Sorry for looking at the mic and not you guys. Take care.